Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video on today. In this video I'm going to help new students, young professionals, or maybe just people who want to start studies in the maritime industry. So in this video I'm going to help you to choose the right country, and in this video I'm going to make a list of the best countries to study maritime. So this video will help every people, every profile, every kind of studies. What I mean by that is that I will help people. It can be people who want to do career at sea or people who just want to do career ashore. So I will help seafarer, but I will also help people who want to be maritime lawyer, naval architect, designer in the maritime industry, ship broker, vessel operator, job in supply chains, every jobs related to maritime. So this video is for everyone. I mean, it's not only for seafarer or for people who want a job ashore. It's for every career. So in this video, I decided to choose 7 countries. So it will be the best countries to study maritime as an international. What I mean by international, I mean in this country, this is very easy to study if you speak English. So you just need to speak English and it will be the best country to study maritime. So I'm going to explain before give you the list of the best countries. I just want to explain how I choose the countries. I think it's very important for you to know how I select countries. So the first criteria, this is the maritime activities and influence of the country. I mean by that, for example, the opportunity you can have after graduation in these countries. If this country is it a big hub, a big maritime hub, if in this country you will find a lot of jobs after your graduation, or maybe especially the fact that this country has many companies, many people working in the industry, you can have a big association, big network association. So that's one of a very important criteria. So that's something very important, especially if you want to succeed in this industry. Secondly, access to education. That's the second criteria, and I think it's very important. Access to education, it means if this is easy for people who don't speak the language of the country, so most of them it's English-speaking countries, but we have also countries where we don't speak English, but this country, I had to make sure that you can easily adapt just by speaking English and make friends just by speaking English. Of course, all the programs are in English. The cost of living, that's something very important, but it's not easy actually, to be honest, to find a cheap country because the maritime industry is always in quite expensive countries. Of course, the admission process, if it's something, it's not too complicated to be admitted into these programs, and especially the fact that you are international, so it's for you have a big chance to be part of the program if it's not only for local people. And last but not least, the visa process. Is it easy to get a visa? So for each country I will show you, I decided to give you a list of the best programs, but for 2 kinds of career. First one, this is for people who want to work ashore. And the second one, this is for people who want to work at sea, so for seafarer. So I will give you everything. So this is for everyone again. So stay in this video because I'm sure this video will help you. So let's start with the first country. The first country, I think it's the best country for maritime. This is United Kingdom, UK. So UK, as you know, has a big influence for shipping on maritime activities. We have the capital of London, very very active capital with many companies, many job opportunities, and you can meet so many interesting people working in your field. So that's why UK is the first one in the list. Secondly, UK, the number of maritime universities is just so high, so it's very easy for you to find a program. Everything, of course, is in English because it's an English-speaking country. We have like big companies like Clarkson. We have Puello Maritime for seafarer if you want to work on board a ferry, or even for career ashore. So in terms of number of people working in industry, so I will show you on LinkedIn. For example, in United Kingdom, we have 62,000 people working in the industry. This is huge. So for you it will be so easy to make networking and to meet many people in the industry and to find a job actually. So I will start with program for career ashore, for people who want to work ashore. For people who want to become a lawyer, UK has many universities. For example, we have the University of Southampton and the University of London with a program in maritime law. We have for people who want to work more in shipping operations or trading, etc. We have the CAS Business School, which is very famous. This is part of City University of London, very famous university. So this is a master in shipping, trade and finance. So this master program is very famous, quite selective, quite expensive, but you will learn so many things and you will meet so many interesting people. So that's one of, you have so many of them. I cannot give you all the list of programs for people who want to work ashore. So for people who want to work at sea, we have the Warsash Maritime Academy. So this is part of Southampton Solent University. So this is a very famous institution for maritime education and training. We have a wide range of programs for seafarers. So we have Officer of the Watch courses. Secondly, we have the City of Glasgow College. Glasgow Maritime Academy, so we have different name. This one is very famous for Merchant Navy cadet programs. We have programs for Officer of the Watch. We have also program for engineering officers. So we have many of them, and again, this is very famous universities and very good quality. So for people, international people who want to join the Merchant Navy, you have these schools, very good school to make to learn about the job. So now let's talk about the second country, the number 2 on the list, which is Singapore. This one is very famous and became very popular last couple of years because in Singapore you have so many opportunities, especially everything related to port operations, management, etc. So this is a very good location for maritime. And if you go to the street in Singapore and you ask someone, what are you doing for a living? Most of people will just say, I'm working in the maritime industry, because this is a very famous destination for maritime. And let's see on LinkedIn the number of people working in Singapore. It's very big actually for when you take into account the size of Singapore. So you have 30,000 people working in Singapore. It's huge. So of course it's not very accurate, this data. Of course, access to education is not so complicated because you have many programs in English. Tuition fees are not so expensive, and for the visa, if you're a student, it's very easy to get the visa. So for the program for people who want to work ashore, we have the Nanyang Technological University, so NTU, with many undergraduate and postgraduate programs in maritime studies. The National University of Singapore offer a Master of Science in Maritime Technology and Management. The PSA Institute offer professional development courses and training programs, so in various aspects of port and terminal operations, logistics, supply chain management, etc. So for people who want to work ashore, you have so many ways to make studies on this field. Then for people who want to work at sea, we have the Singapore Maritime Academic, SMA. This is part of Singapore Polytechnic. So we have many diploma and advanced diploma in nautical studies for people who want to work in the deck department, in marine engineering for people who want to work in the engine department. So this is a perfect way to become a seafarer. Then number 3. This is Australia. Australia, this is on the list because this is an English-speaking country. So for international students, it's perfect. And then Australia has many opportunities in the maritime industry. You can find many companies in the industry. And of course, you have water everywhere in Australia because this is a big island. So it will be a very good country to study maritime. So in terms of number of people working in Australia, it's not as high as UK or Singapore, but still we have a lot. We have 23,000 people, which is quite big actually. So it shows again you can do good networking in Australia. Then access to education, it's okay. I mean, it's quite expensive to live in Australia, but if you have a student job, you can make good money. And furthermore, access to education is quite easy for international because, of course, everything is in English. And secondly, you can have a student visa. It's not so complicated to get in comparison with other kind of visa for people who are not students. So Australia, this is a good choice. For people who want to work ashore, we have many bachelor degrees, especially bachelor degrees actually. For example, we have a bachelor degree in global logistics and maritime management. And then we have also a master in maritime management by the same university, which is Australian Maritime College. This is part of University of Tasmania. So we have Bachelor of Marine Science, so it's something more scientific, so different. So from University of Western Australia. We have Bachelor of Engineering from University of New South Wales. So this is for people who want to become naval architects. So again, something different. Then for people who want to become maritime lawyer, we have the Master in Maritime Law by the University of Queensland. So again, we have a lot actually. So then for people who want to work at sea, we have the University of Tasmania offer many programs for people who want to work at sea. So for example, we have the Bachelor of Nautical Science. So that's it for the top 3 countries. So I said UK, Singapore and Australia. Now we're going to continue our list with the number 4, which is United States. Of course, I will talk about United States because this is an English country, speaking country. And it's a big country with many opportunities. So you have many companies. We have the biggest port in the world. I'm not going to dive into all the programs because we have a lot. It's a big country with many universities. But I will give you a list of the most famous universities and institutes if you want to work in maritime. So keep a look on this institute. So we have the Florida Institute of Technology, the Maine Maritime Academy, the Maritime College, which is part of State University of New York. We have Massachusetts Maritime Academy, United States Naval Academy. We have the University of New Orleans for naval architecture programs and marine engineering department. So again, it's a lot, but you can find easily the program you need. Again, United States, it's a big country, so my advice is just take a look by yourself. Just try to find the best institute, but the list I gave you, this is the most famous one. And I forgot to provide you the number of people working in the maritime industry in United States. It's quite important actually. This is like 166,000 people. It's a lot. This is the biggest country for maritime jobs in my ranking. I didn't put United States in the top 3. It's very expensive and it's not very easy to get a visa. But as a student, it's always possible. Okay, now let's switch to the number 5 of the list, the country number 5, which is Canada. Okay, Canada, a very interesting country with many opportunities, and in the future we will have much more opportunities. Of course, we have many companies. We have the port of Vancouver with a lot of jobs. For the number of people working in the industry, this is quite, it's not huge, but it's quite important. We have 21,000 people in the maritime industry. So if you take into account the population of Canada, which is not huge, it makes sense. And secondly, Canada, they speak English. In British Columbia and the south of Canada, like around Toronto, etc., it's an English-speaking country. And then you have the French part, Quebec, etc. But in the French part, you don't have very interesting programs, so it will be in English for the best programs for the maritime industry. So I will give you just the list of some interesting university and programs. We have the Memorial University of Newfoundland with a bachelor degree in maritime management, for example. We have the Dalhousie University. They have a Master of Marine Management. And we have the British Columbia Institute of Technology with many programs for people who want to specialize on more technical part. And for people who want to work at sea, we have the BCIT. This is the BCIT School of Transportation Marine Campus. This is the name, the full name. But this is the school if you want to work as a seafarer. So they provide many training. This is in Western Canada. You can find marine engineering programs, navigation, and many other training for safety and security. So that's a good point. So let's find 2 other countries in Europe. So these countries are quite, in terms of size, are not as big as the previous one, but still you have many opportunities in these countries. So the number 6, this is Netherlands. And in my own experience, I'm studying in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, and it's a very interesting country for people who want to work in maritime, because we have so many big companies. We have Boskalis, Van Oord. We have the Port of Rotterdam, which is the biggest port of Europe. And the number of people working in the industry is very high in the Netherlands. Especially in the Randstad area. We have 31,000 people working in industry, so it's quite easy to make a business because you can find easily someone working in industry. Plus, a big advantage of Netherlands, you are very close to UK and Germany and Scandinavian countries, so you have the best location if you want to travel, if you want to meet other people, if you want to just to open your opportunities. So that's a very interesting point. So the best university for people who want to work ashore, it will be Erasmus University. They have like a master in maritime law and a master in maritime economic. So for people who want to work ashore again. So we have the Delft University of Technology as well, very famous university and very good ranking in the world. They have a bachelor degree in marine technology. And last but not least, my university, this is the Rotterdam University of Applied Science. They have the master of shipping and transport, so it's very interesting for people who want to work as a vessel operator, a shipbroker, who want to work in supply chain. It's a very versatile program. We learn everything, and that's very interesting. So again, we have 3 big universities. They have very good programs, and everything is in English. But for people who want to work at sea, Netherlands is not a good choice because most of the program for seafarer are in Dutch. If you don't speak Dutch, it will be complicated. So it's Netherlands is a good choice if you want to make career ashore. But something I want to add for Netherlands, because I have experience about the Netherlands, this is housing. So if you want to study in the Netherlands, just be aware that it will be very complicated to find accommodation. So you need to make it maybe 2 months in advance, or even 3-4 months if you can't. Okay, now let's see the last country, on one of my favorite ones for the maritime industry, the number 7, this is Norway. And of course Norway, it's a very interesting country because they have so many companies in the maritime industry, and we have a lot of people working in industry, especially with only 5 million people living in the country. You have 24,000 people in the industry, so it's quite a big ratio. So the best program for people who want to work ashore again, it will be the Master of Maritime Operation by Western Norway University of Applied Science. We have the Master of Science in Maritime Management by University of Southeastern Norway. And then we have the Master of Law by University of Tromsø. So this is part of the Arctic University of Norway. And of course we have so many other programs in Norway, a lot actually. Everything in English. So this is the end of the ranking. We've seen 7 countries. So of course we have other countries in the world with many opportunities. We have Sweden, we have Spain. But again, this is the best countries because you have, again, as I said, many people working in the industry. So for you, for networking, it will be very easy. And this is very easy to communicate in English. So thank you for watching this video. Don't hesitate to leave a comment if you have questions, etc. And do not hesitate to subscribe to the Maritime Vision podcast on the Instagram account, and of course the channel. Thank you again, and see you for the next video.